Hello everyone, let's continue our journey for solving the project management proficiency test. Okay, so let me bring the test. Okay. In previous session we covered the risk and also we did weighting on the projects and also on the master plan. Now let's start with this part, project and program status before and after resource leveling. In this session we want to discuss about resource leveling. Okay, Excel, let me copy paste this on Excel. Okay, so specify the below details before resource leveling. Project cost, let me add 4. Let me add 4. Project duration, okay, let me add 4. And also total work, 3. Project A, and no, I need one more. Yeah, project is fine. The master plan is sum of all these. B, C, A, B, C. Okay. Project A, project B, project C. Let me open the project A. Okay, how much is the total cost? I can go to project information, statistic, look it here, or I can just insert the duration field and check it. Total cost, the current cost is 26,320,000. Okay, 26,320. Okay. Project, and let me update the duration. The duration is 31, work is 845. 31 days and 845 hours, right? Project A, yes, correct. So let me check the project B as well. Project information. If I didn't make the mistakes in previous videos, this calculation should be correct. 13,218. 13,218. 3. Then project C. 26 days. 312. 26 day. And 300, how much was that? 312 hours. Okay, now project C. Project C is 30,675,000. Okay, and the duration, project C, is 19 days and 225. 19 days and 225 hours. Okay, now we need to see before level. Now, so far, listen carefully. So far, what we did was providing a schedule plan, and also we did the budgeting. We assigned the budget based on the plan, but we reach to the point that we want to start the project. But we need to make sure that the plan that we provided is feasible from resource point of view, is feasible. What I mean is, for example, if you have one resource for one specific day and you, based on your plan, you assign 10 tasks for that poor resource to handle all 10 tasks simultaneously, even now we can say it's not possible, because it's not possible that person handle 10 different tasks on the same day, and each task for each day require, for example, 10 hours. Okay, it's not feasible, it's not possible. If your plan is like that, it will definitely will not happen in reality. So what you need to do after the resource assignment, after you specified each task, how many resources require, which type of resource require, and how the resource should work on on each task, then you need to review the assignment, check if it's feasible based on the availability of the resource, and adjust your plan and make sure that your planning is feasible. Okay, that's one of the reasons that we used resource pool, because all these resources are shared across all 3 projects. Okay, so now if you right now I'm on this is the resource pool. Okay, now I can, even on resource pool you can see some of them are red. Those that are red basically means that we have over allocation. We have over allocation based on the availability of this resource. Okay, let me go to ultimate exam, and from ultimate, the ultimate exam is basically the master plan. Resource usage, resource sheet on ultimate exam, because in this file I have all 3 projects also imported. So now I can see all these resources available. First of all, a Microsoft project, just to be clear, Microsoft project has a feature for resource leveling. Okay, in my tutorial videos I explain the features that Microsoft project has, but here I don't want to use this feature, because in reality this feature is not something that can really help, because it has many limitations, and it cannot consider the logic of resource assignment that you have and you use for the resource assignment in your project. So if you have a very detailed specific resource assignment on your project, this feature definitely cannot help. And what you need to do is to identify the gap manually and try to find a solution manually for your resource leveling. In this video I'm not going to cover this. It's very simple. You just need to adjust this setting in resource leveling, and ask software to do the resource leveling. Okay, but at the end what you need to do is to manually perform the resource leveling. So back to the main topic, reviewing the resource leveling that we want to do. Here on resource sheet we can see many resources are red, which means that they have over allocation, and it also means you have to find a solution for them. It means your project plan, your schedule is not feasible, and you need to fix the issue of the resources. Okay, so first of all, for the worker, if you remember, let me move back. For the worker, if I remember correctly, it is a resource very low priority, and the organization can provide this resource as much as need. Okay, needed or it required. So it means I'm adding here, there is a field on the resource sheet, the name is pick. It is telling you how many of these resources, maximum of these resources require. Okay, so here I can say for worker 6, for worker outside of day 1 2. So just to be on the safe side, maybe, because it is saying the assumption in the proficiency test, as the assumption is organization can provide whatever you need. So maybe let me put 10 available, and for the worker outside of day 1 2, just to be on the safe side, if a day we need more worker, those workers to be available. Okay, let me now remove this one. But admin or resource X and Y, no, we need to find a solution for them. Okay, now let's see where exactly we have overallocation. Let me open. It would be easier if we try to look at it from master plan and not each project separately, but if you want you can do that. Let me split this screen, select downside, then let me activate the view bar, then on downside there is a resource graph. Resource graph is nice to use. This is a resource graph, and now select all, then I can see here budget, no. Let me zoom out and see which resource has the issue. Fixed cost, no. Decorator, seems like we don't have. Let me zoom out a little bit, then I can zoom in. Okay, so resource Y has an issue, overallocation. Let me zoom a little bit. To see where is the issue. The issue is related to this day, okay, and this day, let me see, here it is also on indicator field, it is mentioned there is overallocation here. The problem here is I have task 7, let me double check. The resource required for task 7 is resource Y, right? And then task 7, and where is the next one? No. Other, let me try another approach, another resource usage. Maybe let me check another view to find out. We have another screen, resource usage. Okay, on resource usage I can see it's similar to task usage, but now it's like it categorized based on the resource. The priority is on the resource. On task usage we had task, and under each task we had the resource. Now we have each resource, and also we can see the tasks that are assigned to this resource. So let me find which day exactly we have an issue. So resource Y, this is a plan for the resource Y, and this is the date that we have an issue. Okay, the issue is for resource Y on task 3 and task 7 they have, but it is not mentioned for which project. Right, task 3, no, unless now the WBS code is helping us. WBS, it was outline, right? Outline code number 1, but now I cannot see it here because this outline code is from resource. The WBS, let me see if WBS itself is working here. Okay, so from WBS I mean find, although the value is not correct, but I can, at least I can know this is for project 1, this 2 is for project 2. And why this code is like this? Let me see what I can do, because the problem is now that I can see the name of tasks assigned to resource Y, but I cannot see the, how can I say, I cannot see it belongs to which project. Because on WBS code we didn't specify the code for each task. So maybe it's not a bad idea. So what I can do is quickly another, just it came to my mind that let's do this. Let's do text, maybe text 1. No, text 1 was responsible. Let me use text, I don't know, 5. Okay, right click, custom field, lookup. This one is project A, project B, project C, right? Then close. Okay, now let me use a filter, right? Let me rename this as custom field, rename it as project name, right? And let me do something very nice. Okay, ultimate exam, custom fields. Now I have project, okay, for project A, copy, for project B, copy, for project C, copy, right? Okay, now what let's see how I'm gonna use it. Let me go to project. This is interesting. Now I need to use filter. What I want to do is let me insert the field. It was text 5, right? Text 5. One approach is you just try to manually open and select. Okay, but I don't want to put this. Another approach is just to show you how you can use filter in the Microsoft project. On the view, filter, tasks, summary tasks. If I select summary task, it is showing only the summary, but I don't want to show summary task. It's totally opposite of this summary. What I want to do is create new, maybe create new is better. Create new, and I think summary. I think the field is summary. Yes, equal. No, that's it. Let me put a name 01, not summary. Okay, now let me apply this filter. I think I need to more filters. No, where is it? Okay, here. Now apply this one. Now there is no summary, and I can select this one and drag down. Remember, this one, it belongs to another project, right? So we good, right? Now I can hide this one. Now if I move to master plan, I can see this is already pop up. You can do this. Imagine, but I'm doing this because imagine if you have 1000 tasks. In that case, you cannot do it one by one, right? Now let me do it for project C as well. So for project C also, let me insert text 5. Then I need to go to view, custom. Okay, this one is project B, right? Let me hide this. Now move to project C. It was C. Oh shit, I made a mistake. Text 5. It was project C. And okay, now let me hide this. Remember, in Microsoft Project, when you delete a field on a table, it is basically hiding it, hiding that field. It is not deleting the data from that field, and basically it is deleting that field from that specific table. Okay, now project B. For project B also text 5. It's nice. I'm happy that I faced this case, because now I can show you how this one it works. I don't want to do this for this one because this dv3 belongs to another, right? Yes, it belongs to this one. And text 5, it's project A, right? Okay, now project B also is fine. Now let's back to our main story, which was the resource leveling. Back here, now I can see all task has this value, project name. But now let me go to task usage. No, resource usage. Resource usage. Now if I insert text, this text is from now, you know, the problem is resource usage. The field belongs to resources. So shortest story if I want to explain, we have two separate environments in Microsoft Project that they have linked to each other for a specific fields, not all the fields, and all the custom fields, for example cost 1, text 1, number 1, are separated from custom fields in resource environment. So if you added a custom field inside of the, for example, Gantt chart, it means that field belongs to the tasks. If you go to resource sheet, there is another text one, but that text one, it's like exists in another database, and that you can use it for the resources. Although the name is same, but they are totally separate, different. What I did was still I'm happy that I showed you this trick, because you may use it for on your project for another purpose, but right now it is not helping me, because what I want is inside of the resource usage, I want to see each task belong to which project. So at the moment I don't have anything in my mind. The WBS is the only one. Seems like it's working. Seems like I cannot use let me review the available fields. Let's see if I can find. It seems like I cannot use the custom field because it belongs to it is separated. They are not linked. Maybe there are some fields that I can use. Name, for example, the name is resource name here, but this field also exists on the task environment. For each project number, no. Object, project, standard rate, no. No, I don't think that I can use this. Interesting. Okay, let me go down. Regular work, start now. Task summary name, maybe this one. Nah, this one also is giving you it is not giving you the project name. Let me go down more. Unique ID, it's index. No, this won't help you on the project server, not helping me here. Work counter, VAC, user login account, unit update text, team assignment pool, no. Summary, no. Project, now this one. Okay, nice. So this field exists in Microsoft Project as a default field, the project. Now I can see each task that assigned to this resource belongs to which project. So now look at this resource. I can also split the screen now and bring the resource graph. Yeah, now it's beautiful. Now I can see the issue here. Here, if you look at the graph, this histogram graph, the red line is the overallocation. I can also see that here. Why this happened? For example, for the resource X, on this day, because resource X is only one person, but on these 2 days, we scheduled, right? We scheduled 20 hours per day. Resource X or Mr. X was only one person, so it's not possible. We need to see how I can fix the issue and which tasks are exactly planned for these days. Task 3, task 1, task 2, and task 6. Task 6 and 2 from project C, and task 3 from project A. Task B is happening, seems like another time. Seems like it is not creating an issue, right? Another day. But this task 3, task 2, and task 6. Okay, so let's try to solve resource X first and then come back. But before trying to solve this issue, let's just review what solution we can have for this specific situation. We can have different solutions. For example, adding another resource to help Mr. X or resource X on this day, which means increasing the availability of this resource for these 2 days. Okay, that's one approach. But is it possible or not? It is something that you need to check, and it's not related to the software. It's related to the management style or decision of the project manager and availability of resource in organization. Maybe it's available, maybe another person is available to help, and you can use that resource on these 2 days, and without changing the schedule, just follow the plan. Resource X and other resource work on these 2 days to cover these tasks, right? Another approach is try to shift the tasks, change the date of the tasks, increase the duration of the task to reduce the amount of work required per day, or change the start date of tasks. Okay, that's another approach, right? Another approach can be remove the resource X and completely give this task to another contractor. So you will not use the resource X on this one, and you try to assign it to a contractor or another company or another person. That's another approach, similar to adding a resource to help the resource X. These are the trade-off that you need to do. These are trade-off. Is it worth it? It's kind of trade-off. You need to see what you're gonna get and what you're gonna lose, and even it's possible or not. But what you can know for sure is the resource X on this day cannot work 20 hours. 2 days cannot work 20 hours. So this plan is not possible. You need to find the solution. The solution you find and the implementation of this solution on your plan basically is resource leveling. Okay. Now, why I mentioned the feature of the Microsoft project resource leveling is not working properly, because all these points that I mentioned here, how on earth Microsoft project should know them? How on earth Microsoft project should know that if you have a contractor that can take these two tasks, how they should know that you have available resource to inject into this project for these 2 days? How they know? They don't. Also, in Microsoft project, if you remember, I mentioned during the resource assignment, there is no logic between the each resources that you assign. You are not defining a logic. Imagine a case that yes, you have the overallocation for a resource, but that resource can only work if another resource is available. So even if you want to shift your resource, the duration of a task for that specific time to solve the issue of one resource, you need to also manually shift the other resource for that task, because there is a link between the work of that specific resource with another resource, and this link, this logic, it's not possible to define in Microsoft project. And because of that, the automatic leveling of Microsoft project cannot consider and cannot solve this problem. So that's, and also another problem. Let's assume that you have a very big project, a lot of resource, a lot of tasks, and let's assume that auto leveling of Microsoft project works. Let's assume it's just a one click. You click, Microsoft project automatically change the plan. Imagine you have 1,000, 2,000 tasks, and you try to leveling, and Microsoft project automatically change the plan. Then you don't know what exactly happened, and you have to spend hours to understand what exactly is implemented by Microsoft project, and still it's feasible and logical or not. So you can use those times, those efforts, to manually perform the resource leveling. I'm telling you this because manually resource leveling using Microsoft project or any project management tool, even the Primavera, is more practical and more close to reality. Okay, so now let's see how we can solve this problem. Let me remove this. So task project A and C, the contradiction is between project A and project C. Let me go. This view is also not bad. This is a team planner. Microsoft, I think if I'm not wrong, Microsoft included this view in Microsoft Project 2013, or if I remember correctly, or 17, I don't remember. For resource X, I can see here it's visually better, but the problem is I cannot see the detail of the assignment, because if you remember, for each day we have a specific limitation, like for example you cannot use this resource more than X hours. Now if you see here, I can see that this task, if it require, you cannot see. I cannot add fields here. Let me check. No, I cannot. Okay, another. So let's say at the end, because this task is 6 days, I have 2 tasks, and these 2 tasks, but how much was the resource consumption for X? Do you remember? No. Let's go back to resource usage. Or maybe keep this up, and on downside show split. And the split, bring resource usage, task usage, resource. No, it is not allow me to do that. No, because it's okay. It is not allow me to do that. But maybe let's say I want to move this here. Is it solving the problem? No, it is creating another problem here. What if I try to move this one? Is it solving the problem? No. Okay. So what if I move here? If I move task 6, the task 6 belongs to project C. If I move this one here, but I need to check the impact on the project plans. Task 6, project C, this one, right? We move this one here. Let me go back. Now I'm going to conchart task project C, task 6. Okay. Now, what happened is I moved this one like this, right? And because of this shift, I managed to solve the resource allocation for that specific resource. But there is a but. It ended up increasing the duration of the phase 2 and the duration of the project C from, for example, from 23 days to 40 days or 32 days. Okay, it increased the duration. Now you have to ask a question. By shifting, basically delaying the task 6, you managed to solve the problem of the resource availability for resource X, but at the same time you also increased the duration of the project. Is it acceptable or not? Remember, by increasing the duration, you also gonna increase the overhead cost. Maybe it is not worth to do that. Maybe the better solution is to hire a resource to help that resource for that specific date. Okay, these are kind of the trade-off these are kind of thinking that you need to consider in your project. You may have a very solid and restricted deadline, so you cannot do that, right? Let me activate the critical task so I can see. Okay, so here I have the critical task. In here I have task with the slack. The red one is the critical path for the project. Okay, delaying on this task will delay the project in time. But anyway, for project C, you need to consider. Let me open project C itself. View, highlight, no filter. Okay, this task. Okay, so remember, this is a decision that you need to make. But if you shift, it means the duration of the project C will increase. Is it something acceptable or not? That's a very important question that you need to answer, someone need to answer, or the program manager should answer. Also, you need to consider project calendar. Okay, so maybe for this resource you may say, okay, no, it's not acceptable. I'm gonna add more resource, increase the availability of this resource. I have another. Let's say the solution will be because you know, one solution is just shifting the task. Okay, that's maybe the easy one. Another solution maybe is to increase the resource for that specific day. So it means you need to add a new resource here. To do that, let me see if it's okay or not. I am not resource X. This one is resource Y. If you want to shift this one also, it will shift the resource. All these subtasks, successor tasks gonna move. Is it acceptable or not? This is something that you need to answer. I don't know. Let's just but for the practice, let's assume that okay, it's okay to shift a task. For how many days? Maybe 3 days. 3 days is not enough somehow. 4 days. 5 days. Maybe 6 days. How many days was? 6 days. 10 days. If I shift it 10 days, I'm gonna solve the problem for the resource of project C. But if I move back to this one, it also means let's compare the cost, the changing cost. By this change, now my total cost is 56 million, right? Only because of delaying the project C for 6 days, right? Now total cost is 40. How much? Total cost of whole program now is 56 million. Now let me return back. Control Z. But if project follow the plan, the total cost is 54 million. So it is almost that delay, that specific delay caused 1.5 million for us. Is it acceptable or not? Maybe that specific resource, maybe that resource X, if I tell them, okay, Mr. X, I'm paying you $20,000. I'm paying you, not dollar. Sorry, this is misguide me. This is it can be any unit, any currency. Let me remove it from here. So display, remove unit. Maybe I'm telling resource X, okay, Mr. Resource X, you are a consultant, you are professional, we have a situation, we have a bottleneck on this day, we need more from you. you try to find some resource, bring it with yourself, and try to close all these 3 tasks on these 2 days, and we're gonna pay you 20,000 extra. 20,000 we're gonna pay you to do this. Maybe that's the solution, and by this solution you prevent the delay on the program, and you prevented 1.5 million by just paying extra 20,000. That guy is happy, you are happy, and you have your solution. Okay, I'm just trying to put you in a situation that use your mind, use the trade-off. And what I'm doing here, it's the beautiful part of the project management. The most beautiful part of project management is to solve these kind of problems, right? And as I'm explaining, you can see why I'm not using Microsoft Project leveling option, because Microsoft Project cannot do that, cannot offer these options, cannot see if it's possible or not. Okay, let's go with this approach. Because as you can see, we saw that the delay on the project, although it can fix the availability of our resource for those days, but it is impacting hugely on total cost. So how can I do this? So basically, one approach is to just add a new resource, or if you don't care who exactly is those extra resources, and you want to put everything on the shoulder of the guy you have, what was the name, Mr. X, what you can do is just which day was we had the problem? Resource usage. Okay. Task. The problem was for 17 and 18 November, right? So what I can do is I can till 18, but remember, if you use this feature, if the task shift, you also need to manually come here and update it again. Okay, or you may say, let's do this. If it happened, it's good to experience this case. Anyway, November 17, right? 17 November. 1 from 17 to for 2 days, right? 17, 18, 19, maybe 3 days. Just adding the buffer, we increase the resource 2, and from 21 gain till NA back to 1, right? The availability of the resource is increased on that day, and he is responsible to bring those extra guys, whoever he wants, his friend, whatever, to cover this. But I know that the resource X availability on these 3 days increased by 1, and I have 20 hours of that resource. Okay, now I reflected the availability. Let's assume that this solution cost 20,000 units, okay, or 50,000 units. This cost, you can consider it because we have 3 tasks, right? And 2 of them, basically, you can put the total cost for task 6, or you can just you can just share it between 3 tasks. Whatever you want, it should be fine. If you know that those extra resources only work on a specific task, or they are work all together, maybe for sake of this practice, I'm assign it to the fixed cost of this task. Fixed cost. Fixed. This is the resource. Let me go to this project C, task 6. Insert fixed cost, and let's say 50,000. Okay, now let me use the note. Remember, this point is very important. You need to 50,000 unit extra cost for this task due to over allocation of resource X, which end up with a solution that he tried to bring his friends as contractor to help him for 17 and 18 of November with 1 day extra buffer. Okay, 17, 18 and 19, just in case if they faced an issue, and this is bring 50,000 extra cost for project C, task 6. Now I know what exactly happened. Okay. Now let's look at the other resource, other problem. We found the solution. We found the solution which had a little bit cost for us. At least we found the solution, and I don't see the red line anymore for this task for the resource X. Now let's move back to resource sheet. Let's see where we have an issue for resource. Okay, for this one is only 1 day, right? 1 day has an issue. Yes, and on this day both belongs to project A, right? And the problem is project C, task 7. Project C, task 7, and task 3 and 7 of project A have overlap for 1 day. So if I just try to shift, let's see which one of them has a slack. Okay, free slack. What I mean is I'm allowed to delay them a little bit, move them a little bit, without impacting on the critical path, without changing the duration. So let me review the project C, task 7, right? Project C, task 7. Okay, task 7 is here. If I delay 1 day, it means project also will delay 1 day. If I try to delay this one by 1 day, then no more than that, because the resource X only works for a specific day, right? So move back to this. So if I delay this one, it will delay here. I have to move it here. And what about the task 3 and 7 on project A? Let me review them. Let me see their situation. Here also you can consider the value, the weighting for your leveling to see which one. Let me remove the filter here. No filter. Okay. Task 3 and 7, right? Task 3 here, very big task, 6 days, right? And value is 200. Task 7, 300 value. What was the value of the project C, task 7? 350, so task 7 has the higher value for us. Okay, which project is this one? Project B. Let me remove this. Seems like project B doesn't have any resource issue. Project A. Okay, task 7. Task 7 is planned here. Task 3 also is planned here. Let me add total slack. Total slack is 0, so if this task delay even 1 day is creating problem. But task 3, although it's 6 days, but it has 6 days total slack, so I can delay this task for 6 days without impacting the total duration. Okay, so for example, if I moved here, still the total duration of project A is 31. Okay, but it can create resource availability issue for other tasks. Okay, let's see. So for now, I can know that task 3 project A have slack, so I have some buffer to delay this task. Maybe I can try to do this, but the overlap is here. Maybe delaying 1 day for that specific day. Let me see. Let me check. Ultimate exam. So maybe the solution can be task 3 instead of working on this day. But here anyway, I need to make it maybe 5 hours here. I can move the 5 hours here. And remove these 5 hours from this section. Now it means, but you also need to consider, is it okay for resource Y to work on day 1 on this day for these 2 tasks, 5 hours this task 3, 5 hours task 3, then completely shift to task 7 for project C and work on that? And then let me check even the location. It's really funny that we end up this case, right? Now I cannot see the location. You need to also check the location, if the location is same or not, because resource Y cannot be on a different location, right? Or maybe you have a private jet and you can pay the private jet to move that resource, or maybe that resource can work remotely, possible. But maybe you have a situation that although it's planned like this, but resource let me check. Project C task 7. Project C task 7. Where is the location? Location is Isfahan. Okay. And project A location for task 3 is Isfahan, same city. For task 7 is Shiraz. Shiraz and Isfahan are close city to each other, maybe 4 hours difference by car. It's not really bad. I was afraid maybe that task belongs, for example, is going to happen in London. Then it will be totally different story if the remote was not acceptable. You could end up having problem to find a flight for that resource. So, but if it's those two cities are close to each other in Iran, so you should not have this case. See, these scenarios that I'm trying to emphasize here are very critical points that Microsoft project or any other software, the resource leveling, at least any other available software at the moment, cannot consider. Maybe in future the AI help these softwares to help you or help the project manager to consider these scenarios, and then yes, then it can provide a very optimized leveling option. But till that day, we need to do them resource leveling manually. You can just ignore them or just use it to give you an idea, maybe. Okay, back to our case. So what were we? So it's not a bad idea. Also, you need to check if it's feasible or not. Maybe the resource Y is saying no, it's not possible to stop the work. If I start this task 3 or task 7, I need to finish them. I cannot start then stop. It's a continuous work. Anyway, if it's feasible, that's one solution, that you try to shift task 3 and task 7 for one day a little bit. And I think we didn't impact we impacted a little bit the total duration, right? Yes, we impacted a little bit the total duration. See, okay, total duration is 40 days. Now let's say resource sheet, resource usage. Now for this resource, scroll to task. Let's say it is what it is. There was no other option. I have to do this. Let's assume this is a case that I couldn't find any better solution. Okay. So I changed this one. Plan little bit changed. The duration, total duration changed. Cost changed. Now admin. Let's see where is the problem for admin. Oh, poor admin. Poor admin has many here. 24 hours. This is the 24 hours work. Project A, task 10. Let me review. Project A, task 10, resource assignment. Where is it? Admin team is responsible for this task. This is a particular task and it requires working on this task for 2 days without stopping. One admin to assign to this task. Okay, so how can I pass this one? I need to increase the resource for that day. There is no other option, right? For 2 days. 8 hours. This is a very unique specific case. So I can the number of availability of admin is also different. Okay. November, it's planned on November. Okay, so what can I do? Maybe assigning another resource to help. Maybe that can be a solution. So maybe let's follow this solution. Admin support. I'm defining this resource inside of the resource pool, remember? Now the project calendar. What was the admin calendar? Admin was project calendar. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's assume that we hired. At the end, we discussed with the organization that say, okay, admin is important. We also have another project to use them. Let's hire 3 more admins. that we can use and support that specific task. Okay. Then admin support, or maybe there are available resources from other projects, other programs in organization, and they just join to help for this specific scenario. Okay, so here what I need to do is double click on the task. Which task? This one is crazy. Okay, task 10, project A. Project A, task 10. Admin support 3. Before adding this one, let me try this. It is better. Resource. Okay, I'm gonna fix duration, fix work, fix duration, effort driven, and admin support. No, that's not a, because I don't want the work increase. The assumption is the work will not increase. Assumption is the new resource is going to help. So what I mean is ultimate exam, this one, no, task usage. Let me go to the task usage, task 10, right, scroll to the task, double click, admin support. I didn't specify the cost, right? I need to consider the cost for that resource as well. So it should be similar to the admin. Cost 20. $20, $30, or maybe, okay. $20, $30. This one was for, I don't remember, outside of the one. Yeah. No. Outside of Tehran. And 1st of March 30% increase, then 10% fine. Okay. So to solve this resource allocation, this crazy situation, I end up bringing another resource. That is also kind of another solution that you can consider for resource leveling, and definitely Microsoft Project Auto Leveling is not considered this. And from 1st of May, if I remember correctly, minus 10%. Minus 10%. 1st of March, plus 30%. Plus percent. And 1st of May, minus 10%. Minus 10%. Okay. So I defined the new resource. Now, moving back here. Support. I don't want 44 hours. Now it's different. Now this one is not. Basically, what happened is this one should work only 8 hours, and this one should work 16. So it cover the total work is still 48 hours. Okay, and I don't need the resource. I don't have the resource problem now. So basically, these new resources join to support the regular admin for these 2 days, and as per the management decision, it's good to have these in our project. Later they may want to use them, and if we don't, they just use it for another program. So hiring the new resource also is another solution for resource leveling. Let's see if we have another issue. No, seems like by these changes I don't have any other issue. But the issue I have now is the cost increased, the duration also increased. Let me write it down here. After leveling, by the way, the program itself also has the overhead cost, and because of that, this one is it also increased a little bit more than the amount that each project separately increased. Project A 26,770. Right, 26,770,000. Project B 30,200,000. B didn't change. We didn't change anything from B. Okay. Right. Yes. So same. Then project C. Let's see if cost increased. Project C 30,725,000. 720. And this is the delta for each project. Basically, this one is 450,000 and 50,000. Around 500,000 increase in total cost for all 3 projects. But what I see at program level, total cost increased by around 1.5 million, and the difference is because of the overhead of the program itself as well. So now I don't have any red color here for resource alarm. Now I can assume that the project is feasible. And another important point that I need, it's good to mention here, is that resource usage. Well, let me go to the resource sheet to explain this. See, on resource sheet, for example, it's mentioned 10 worker max. It means 10 worker is available every day to work on the project. But the cost that Microsoft project is calculating is the resource consumption. It is not calculating the cost of the IDLE resources. If you use only 5 worker max, 5 worker all days in your projects, and you never use half of them, Microsoft project is not calculating the cost of those 5 unused resources from the worker. Microsoft project only perform calculation for the resource that you used in your project. So it's kind of a hidden cost for you, because anyway these resources are assigned to your project. Those extra 5 workers are available every day and waiting for you to assign a task for them. And Microsoft project is not considering the cost of those. So keep it in your mind. It's kind of a limitation or the lack of feature for Microsoft project. But if you want, you can just calculate it you can just export data from Microsoft in CSV or Excel and do the extra calculation for yourself. But for your information, remember this point, that if for example, if you add a new resource and you only use it 1 hour from that resource in your project, but that resource is available every day for 6 months in your project, although in your reality you're gonna pay that resource for 6 months, 8 hours per day, 10 hours per day, but Microsoft project, because you only assign that resource for 1 hour, consider 1 hour cost for your project because of that resource. But in reality, that resource costs you much more, because Microsoft project is not calculating or considering the ideally time of that resource. And this is very important for you, and keep in your mind that resource leveling, it's not only about solving those problems that I showed you, it is also about solving the problem, these kind of problems if exist. Now I think do we have a problem? Let me check the peak. Sometimes if the peak is same, peak here is 1 at the moment, but still this one showing red. Let me check again. I don't see any red alert for the resource. Maybe there is a bug or something. I don't see it on the Gantt chart. I don't see the I don't see it in the indicator on the task. Okay. So resource leveling is a very interesting topic. I think I covered the most important part related to our solution. After the level, let me another point. Another important point is also to check the cost and the budget. Okay, this is interesting. Let me see if there was a report. I used to have a visual report here. Let me check if it's available or not, if it's working or not. I'm not gonna fill this in, but we know the duration increased, we know the work increased a little bit, but I'm not gonna fill the Excel for that. But you get the idea. The important point is you get the idea. You can do it on your own. Budget cost report. Yeah, this one. Let me. Do we need to edit? No, I think we can. Let me see if I can change it here. No. Here, let me make it days. As I mentioned in, I don't remember 2 videos back or previous videos, Microsoft is not even alarming you that there is a mismatch between the budget and cost. Keep it in your mind. But now you know that the total cost on your plan increased. So you need to decide, you need to make a decision now. Are you going to discuss with the management to increase the budget, or it's too late? If it's too late, you need to accept that the cost increased because of the resource leveling, and resource leveling happened a little bit late, and now you just need to accept the increased cost. You just need to absorb that, right? Or during the project, during the work, try another approach, another method to reduce the cost, to just cover that extra cost, 1.5 million. You remember, if you can work harder to reduce the duration, the overhead cost also reduce. So that's maybe an option to try to see how you can reduce the duration of the project, how you can make it the faster delivery to reduce the overhead cost, and not only cover the extra cost that happened because of the resource leveling, not only that, also try to increase the profit. That's the beauty of project management, and that's what project managers can do. So let me open here. Week, it's based on day. I can open all. Okay, and this is budget cost. Okay, budget cost. Okay, so I can do it separately for each project. I think it's better we do it each project separately, because each project has a separate budget. But when I look at this at high level, do we have the cumulative cost? Let me check here the number of the fields. I don't need this one, I need cumulative cost. Yes. So, but I don't have cumulative budget, right? Let me. It's really good if Microsoft include this. Cumulative cost. No, I have to do it manually. Sadly, Microsoft project is not. You have to do it manually. But anyway, the idea is, for example, at the beginning, you receive this amount of budget. And this amount of budget will cover you, let me see, up to around day 11. Okay, around day 11. But on day 8 you receive another budget. Okay, if you add this amount, it will be around this, and this is cover this amount of cost until day 14. Then you have another budget, right? You receive another budget, and it cover, I think it covered till end of the project. Seems like the budget is aligned with the cost. But if you want to make sure, you need to just because Microsoft project is not having this field, cumulative budget cost. It has only cumulative cost. You need to consider it manually, and Microsoft project is not aligned. But the idea is, let's say you receive, for example, half of this budget on day 1. If you receive that amount on day 1, then definitely you will gonna have a problem at day 5, because at day 5 your cost is more than the money you have. So you need to find a solution, and the solution maybe end up shifting the project, because if you don't have money you cannot work, right? You need the money as a source so you can work. So this is a very interesting topic. This is a very interesting topic, that you have a budget plan, and you now, by your project plan, you have the cash flow. You can have a report that how this is basically, if I remove where is it? Let me remove actual cost. We don't have actual cost because we didn't update the plan yet. Baseline costs we don't need because we didn't talk about it. Budget cost, cumulative cost. Remove the budget cost. Now look at the chart. Basically, this histogram is showing the cost of your project over time. The main question here is your budget plan aligned with this cash flow, with this cost? Can you support this? Is your income in your project, the money that flow inside of your project can cover this plan, this cost plan? If not, you need to move back and try to find a solution. Update your plan and make it somehow that your budget to be aligned with your cost plan. If the cost plan is not aligned with your budget, you definitely face problem. And it also means if you're gonna shift your project because you don't have money, it also means you have to redo your planning and resource leveling as well. So this is very important. As I mentioned, Microsoft Project is not providing any tool to alarm you, help you. It is something that once you concluded your planning, once you insert and define your budget, you need to manually extract such a report. You have to manually check it and make sure that the budget that you define for your project over time is covering your cumulative costs. Let's say, just an example, let's say total cost is around 55 million, right? Let's say, okay, for this project I'm paying you 100 million. You may say, okay, that's nice, because the total cost that we estimated is 55 million, 54 million, but the total budget for this project is 100 million. So if I finish the project, I can put 50 million in my pocket, right? That's so far it's good. It's correct. It's a correct assumption. But the problem is when they are going to give you that money, and do you have enough money to start the project and complete the project without relying on their budget? If you are relying on their budget to start the work, and if they say we're gonna give you this money at the end of work, then you definitely have a problem. Unless you are very rich and you can start the project without relying on the fund from the stakeholder, the owner of project, or the customer. Okay, so in summary, the leveling between we had one concept, resource leveling, fixing the problem between the availability of resource in your project. We also have another more important concept for budget leveling. Your budget plan should be aligned with your cost plan. If not, you have a problem. You have to fix it. You have to find a solution. You have to send the alarm to project stakeholders. And I'm trying to emphasize again that this is the beauty of the project management. This is where I really love the project management. This is where you can have this vision that, guys, we have a project that our budgeting plan is not aligned with our cost plan. We need to find a solution. That's where the how can I say this? That's where the project management shine. Okay, guys, this was a long video. I think 1 hour and a half. I hope you enjoyed this video. In this video we tried to cover this part and also this part. For the next video we are going to cover this reports before we start updating the project, right? Okay, have a good day, see you later.